Astrology is a language. By learning the language of the sky, we can commune with the planets and stars, discovering important messages about who we are. The stars are speaking to us. Astrology teaches us how to listen. Juliana McCarthy, author of The Stars Within You, A Modern Guide to Astrology. Hello, my love, and welcome to your very own individual birth chart reading. You probably first learned about astrology when you discovered your sun sign, which of the 12 zodiac signs you fall into based upon the month and date of your birth. Maybe you checked out your weekly horoscope in the newspaper or online. Maybe you were told that as a Virgo, you are organized, overly critical, and pessimistic. A lot of what people find in mainstream astrology is an oversimplified description of who you are. But, in case you didn't know, you are a multifaceted, multidimensional, whole entire human being. Your sun sign is important, but it is not the whole picture. Consider our solar system. The sun is at the center, but there are more energies at work than just the sun, like the planets in orbit. So you can think of your sun sign as your truest essence, you at your very center, around which all other aspects of your personality orbit. Your sun sign is Virgo, which we'll cover in depth. I'm sure you're familiar with the basic characteristics of your sun sign, but we'll dive deeper to get a clearer picture of how deeply compassionate, grounding, and healing Virgo energy can be. And there's more to you than your sun sign. So much more. When you arrived in your human vessel, born into this world, there was a very specific pattern of celestial bodies in the solar system, an intricate web of energies in place, selected by you in the cosmic waiting room based on your intentions for coming into this lifetime. A combination of planetary alignments and energies completely unique to you, woven together at just the moment of your birth, permeating your being with all this cosmic mojo. Together, we will dive into each one of your specific planetary placements to discover a little more about your natural personality traits, habits, and desires. Don't worry if you've never studied astrology. I'm including a crash course in this first video, and you'll get an overview of the basic building blocks so you can better understand your chart reading. I used a variety of resources for your reading, including books, notes from past astrology teachers, as well as my own channeled messages to give you the most thorough reading possible. I will recommend a couple of books if you'd like to add some reference books to your library. The two books I love most are The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need by Joanna Martine Wolfo. It's really good, though parts of it lean toward a more stark and linear view of astrology. It has great information. Also, The Stars Within You by Juliana McCarthy. I reference certain things from both of these books during your chart reading, so if you'd like to learn more about astrology, I would definitely start with those two books. The key terms and basics of tropical or Western astrology. Every astrologer reviews the chart a little differently, and there are different systems that can be used. So even if you have a bit of a foundation, I feel like it's good to explain the signs, houses, and terms I'm using to avoid confusion. You can skip this part if you'd like and come back when it feels relevant. If you're too excited to sit through this technical and kind of dry info, you won't hurt my feelings by skipping ahead. So let's dive in. So in astrology, we look at planets, signs, houses, and aspects. And that's no matter what system of astrology we're using. I use tropical or Western astrology. And when we're thinking in terms of the planets, signs, houses, and aspects, here is what information we get from each of those four things. So the planets tell us which energies we're working with, and the signs tell us how these energies manifest. We'll cover the planets and signs in this episode. At the end, after we review your planets and their signs, then we'll discuss the houses, which tell us which area of life those planetary energies are directed, and the aspects, which tell us how those energies relate to each other within us. So let's just start with the easy stuff, the planets. The planets are the sun, the moon, and okay, yes, those are not planets. They're technically luminaries or celestial bodies. The same thing will apply when we get to Pluto. But in astrology, for ease of reference, we refer to all of these celestial bodies as planets. So we have the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. The sun influences your sense of self, the essence of who you are, and your sun sign is in Virgo. The moon is about your emotions, deeper instincts and habits, and your moon is in Taurus. Mercury is about how you process information, anything intellectual, how you communicate, your logic and reasoning, and your Mercury is in Libra. Venus is about beauty, love, and art, and your Venus is in Scorpio. Mars is about your mission, your drive to action, your strongest desires for this lifetime. Your Mars is in Taurus. Jupiter is about expansion, how you grow, also your optimism and abundance. Your Jupiter is in Aquarius. Saturn is about structure, the rules of this 3D manifested world, also your pessimism and restriction. Your Saturn is in Cancer. Uranus is about rebellion, eccentricity, and upheaval. Your Uranus is in Libra. Neptune is about imagination, dreams, and delusions. Your Neptune is in Sagittarius. Pluto is about transformation, obsession, power, and death. Your Pluto is in Libra. There are also 4 non-planetary placements we'll cover. The first is your rising sign, or ascendant. This is a point on your chart which indicates which zodiac sign was on the eastern horizon at the time of your birth. Your ascendant, or rising sign, is in Taurus, and we'll devote an entire episode to exploring what that means. When we talk about the big 3 in your chart, it's the sun, moon, and rising, as these placements have such a powerful influence on your personality. The second non-planetary placement we'll discuss is Chiron, which is a planet discovered in 1977. Actually, I think it's an asteroid. In Western astrology, we think of the Chiron as the wounded healer, and it speaks to our childhood wounds. It also reflects how we heal ourselves when experiencing deep pain and struggle. Your Chiron is in Aries. The last 2 placements are the north and south nodes. These points are related to intersections in the moon's orbit. Our spiritual journey involves balancing our north and south nodes, integrating the gifts of one into the other. The north node is the area of life where we must demonstrate some effort in order to grow spiritually. It is often an area that brings you discomfort, but it's also the area where you have the most potential for profound success and growth. The north node represents your life's true purpose, and yours is in Capricorn. The south node speaks to your past lives, what comes naturally to you, what you've already mastered. Your south node is in Cancer. Now let's cover the 12 signs of the zodiac and a couple of their key traits. Aries is the leader, courageous and independent. Taurus is the sensualist, dependable and materialistic. Gemini is the intellectual, intelligent, and social. Cancer is the feeler, sensitive, nurturing, and maternal. Leo is the performer, open-hearted and charismatic. Virgo is the helper, thoughtful and analytical. Libra is the romantic, harmonizing and artistic. Scorpio is the shaman, passionate and transformational. Sagittarius is the philosopher, adventurous and open-minded. Capricorn is the CEO, diligent, ambitious, paternal. Aquarius is the innovator, eccentric and driven by humanitarianism. Pisces is the dreamer, mystical and imaginative. That was easy enough, right? You've probably heard of all of the planets and all the zodiac signs. It gets a little more technical from here with the houses and aspects. That's why we're saving those for later. We'll do one episode on the houses in your chart, just because it's way less confusing that way. Okay, so back to the zodiac signs. Let's talk about the 3 main classifications or grouping of the zodiac signs. The first classification or grouping is called the duality, where the 12 signs are divided into 2 groups. Those 2 groups being masculine and feminine. When we talk about masculine and feminine in astrology, in metaphysics, in energy work in general, we're not talking about if you identify as masculine or feminine. It has nothing to do with gender or sexual expression. Masculine and feminine are simply descriptions of how energy is most basically expressed. Masculine refers to a force pushing forward, taking action toward something. a probing, assertive energy. Feminine refers to receptivity, resting, softening, and flowing. The masculine signs of the zodiac are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. The feminine signs are Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. I think of the difference between these two groups in terms of motivation versus inspiration. Masculine signs thrive on motivation, meaning some outside force has triggered a need for action and they feel like they need to get started like right now. Feminine signs, on the other hand, sort of sit back and wait for the inspiration to come from within, and then they take the steps they want to take. The next grouping is called the triplicity, where the 12 signs are split into groups of 3. The triplicity is grouped by the 4 elements: air, fire, water, and earth. In astrology, each element denotes certain fundamental characteristics. Air signs are gifted with charm, playfulness, intellect, perspective, and communication. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You may notice these are all masculine signs. Fire signs are gifted with energy, motivation, courage, and passion. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. These are also all masculine signs, so fire and air have masculine expressions. Water signs are gifted with sensitivity, intuition, nurturing, and imagination. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. These are all feminine signs. And finally, earth signs. That's you. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And as an earth sign, you're gifted with ambition, powerful work ethic, financial mindset, and connection to Mother Earth, including plants and animals. These are also all feminine signs. As a Virgo sun, your triplicity chart ruler is Earth, so you have been bestowed with the gift of practicality and stability. The next group is called the quadruplicity. These are the 12 zodiacs split into 3 groups of 4. The quadruplicity of a sign denotes specific instincts or qualities you're prone to express when dealing with your environment. These groups are called cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The 4 cardinal signs mark the beginning of the seasons: Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. They are ambitious and outgoing. They are the party starters, the initiators of the project, the ones who can jump into the fun without any questions. The 4 fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Fixed signs are resistant to change and enjoy routine or similarity in their everyday life. If cardinal signs are the initiators, fixed signs are the finishers. When the cardinal signs use up their burst of energy and get bored, fixed signs step in to assess the situation and complete the project. Then we have the mutable signs, and those are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Mutable signs have flexibility, versatility, and adaptability. They can be good in a crisis with their ability to think outside the box. So those are the groups: duality, triplicity, and quadruplicity, and they all speak to your essential nature, your most basic habits and instincts. The things we're not talking about yet are the houses, aspects, and anchor points. There are 4 important anchor points in your chart, and we talked about the first one, the ascendant or your rising sign. The other 3 points are the descendant or DC, which sits opposite the ascendant, and the MC, which sits opposite the IC. We won't cover the other 3 points until we get to the section on houses, but I'll tell you what they are just so you can be on the edge of your seat with anticipation. So sitting opposite the ascendant is the descendant, and it's the doorway to the 7th house in your chart. The descendant speaks to your relationships, while your ascendant speaks to your sense of self. The other 2 points form a sort of perpendicular line to your ascendant and descendant. These are called the IC and the MC. IC meaning Imam Kohli, we just say IC, and MC refers to the midheaven. These are just terms, you don't have to remember them. They're things you're going to hear, so just introducing the phrasing now. Your MC, or midheaven, is the symbolic culmination point in your chart. Consider it your personal high noon. It represents your most visible outer self, the identities you're tugged towards in your career and passions. Your MC tells us so much about your relationship to the world and what you're called to contribute to it. Your IC, or Imam Coli, is sitting exactly opposite the MC. It's the symbolic midnight of your chart, the low point in the sun's journey beneath the earth from our point of view. It represents family, roots, ancestors, home, and foundations. Still with me? Excellent. Then you've made it through. And I'll see you in the next episode where we dive into your sun sign.